Item 10B, receive the third quarter financial report as of March 31st, 2016 for the fiscal year 2015-16 operating and capital improvement program budgets.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the Council. The City's third quarter budget report is prepared in order to compare the revenues and expenditures in the first 9 months of the current year with both the budget and the first 9 months of the previous years. So as you can see, in the current percentage of revenues, we're at 63% compared to 67% in the previous year. However, revenues are up $301,000 and a total 1%. So when you compare it, we do have these two. I pointed them out because they still are showing as negative. These were also reported to you in the first quarter, and I believe the mid-year report. So I'll go down the line. Where property tax, we're up 11% when compared to the prior year, and it is at 65% at the current budget, which is an increase of $546,000 when compared to the prior year. Sales tax is down 17% when compared to the prior year, and with 7 months of revenue received, this revenue source is at 44% of the current budget. The majority of this decrease is still due to a timing difference related to the triple flip unwind. However, staff is also estimating that the year-end revenues in this line item will be below budget. Overall, general fund revenues are projected to come in over budget, so we're not asking for a decrease in this revenue at this time. Business tax is approximately $400,000 lower than the prior year, and as mentioned in the mid-year report, this decrease is related to a lower payment received from one of the city's larger businesses, and also as part of the mid-year report, the council approved the lowering of that line item by $400,000, and so now it is now more in line with actuals. It's also important to note that this reduction will carry on into the next fiscal year and will be reflected in the 16-17 budget, so we don't anticipate this business bringing in much higher than what they did this year. Motel hotel tax, this revenue is showing a 6% increase or $126,000 over the prior year with only 8 months of revenue being received. And as you can see, departmental revenues are on track, and so they're showing about a 10% increase, $406,000 when compared to the prior year, and this is due to an increase in development-related revenues and fire strike team reimbursements for assistance with the Rocky and the Butte wildfires. Okay. And on to the expenditures. On the expenditure side, we're doing very well, as you can see, with 75% of the year. Total department expenditures are at 70%. So this is, shows that the departments are monitoring their expenditures and continuing to stay within their budget. Just to quickly go over the enterprise funds, revenues are actually $71,000 higher than the prior year, and expenditures are at third quarter are at 51%. Now, this is below 75% because we've started including the CIP, and in previous years we only did the operating, so now we're showing you with the CIP in there. So they're in various stages of completion. You know, you have some that are in design, and Jim mentioned the water meter project's almost completed, so they're different stages. So with the wastewater fund, revenues at third quarter were approximately $335,000 higher when compared to the prior year, and this increase is due to 9 months of rate increases from the 5-year rate adjustment schedule. Expenditures also, same as water, they are at 34% of budget, and this is also due to the CIP projects being in various stages of completion. Cable television fund revenues at third quarter are at 65% of budget, and this is below 75% due to the approved rate increase not taking effect until September, and the budget was prepared with the assumption that it would be taking effect as of July 1st. With 75% of the year complete, expenditures are at 58%, and that is below 75% because the Shelter Creek Fiber to the Home project is not scheduled to begin until June of 2016. I also wanted to mention with the water and the wastewater, we're always a month behind. You know, we bill based on the 2 months behind. So normally, at 9 months, we only have 8 months of revenue in there. Lastly, the self-insurance fund is at 100% of mark due to an increase in claims, and the city pays the annual liability insurance premium in the first quarter. That concludes my report, and I'm available to answer any questions.
Any questions for Angie at this time? Okay. Ken?
I just got to say this every time. Feeling good? I mean, is this a very, very positive report?
It is.
I think so, yeah. Show a little more excitement.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
I should have let you go last.
Rico?
Real quick, I know we have a budget study session next month, and I know it's not detailed here. I'd asked a while ago for update and at least an accounting of the Glenview Trust, and where we're at, what we have left, the projects that we have. It was anticipated about 3 or 4 months that it could maybe have an update of where we're at, since we're getting, hopefully, to a point that we can forecast. So I would ask my colleagues' approval to bring that forward in great detail so that we can very much look at it.
Sure. Okay. Anyone else? Okay, this is informational, so thank you very much, Angie.